Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another Promise Startup session. I can't believe we're already in May of 2022. I hope y'all are making progress in your businesses and in your programs. I know we're really excited for what the next wave of Promise Startups might look like. I couldn't get the live to work out, so I'm going to record this and I'll get it uploaded to YouTube and Facebook when we're done. The goal of today's workshop is to go over the Promise Startups online course. And I would love to point out, step by step, some specific resources in there to help you with your journey. But before I go into all of that, I just want to open up the floor for anybody that's here virtually or in person. Does anybody have any pressing questions that I can help with? Okay, if there's no questions, that's a good reason to celebrate. Let me just share my screen and I'll go over this with y'all. So do y'all see my screen? Yeah, just perfect. Thank you, Danielle. Okay, so I am on the Promise Startups website. Everybody who has been in the program has at least been here once because they've had to, everybody's had to kind of come here to apply over here. But we do have some upgrades to the website now, namely this section here that says online class and register. And so I know some of the folks that have registered and some folks haven't. So if you haven't had a chance to register, please go ahead and do that. It is really important, and I'll show you how that works. Just go to this button here and click register, and you can create a free account. You just need your email and your name, and the password will get emailed to you. Once you have an account, moving forward, all you have to do is click online class to come back here. Not register, but the online class to enter the course area. And so this is the course area for Promise Startups. There's 27 lessons in here, and sometimes we'll continue to add more in addition to the facilitated workshops we do in person. So let me point out some of the key sections here for everybody. So the first thing is we have this orientation and welcome section. We got some pleasantries from one of our co-founders and the former president of Nevada Partners, Monica Ford, and some other inspirational messages from entrepreneurs. Super short video to watch. Beyond that, we have this pre-assessment survey. So at the start of the program, if you're new to this, we ask that you complete this pre-assessment survey. We have a pre-assessment and a post-assessment survey, and it will really help us understand, the impact this program has on your individual business goals, but also, how we can improve this program. So, there are some questions in here related to, income for your business or your personal income. And the reason why we ask these questions is because it's our goal to, uplift all of our incomes together, help us all build a business that can generate revenue. And so giving us that start and finish data will help us tremendously as we work to get more sponsors and facilitators for our program. You'll also notice you have a question here about, is your business incorporated, legally established? So we ask this information. It's really important for us because our goal is to help you establish a business that has all the proper documentation and pays taxes in Nevada, and that will help us further the programming that we have here. And so that's one really big piece here is the pre-assessment survey. After you finish the pre-assessment survey, we ask you to do a memorandum of understanding. And there's this previous video that we had recorded where we talked specifically about the MOU and we answered some questions. But if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Ella or Sophia. I'll be happy to help. But this MOU essentially is, an agreement. And MOUs, which stands for Memorandum of Understanding, they're not the most enforceable, but it's about intent and making sure we're all on the same page. We have clear communications about what to expect in this program, what you have to put in and what you could get out. And so this includes access to the co-working space here. One awesome change that has been made to the program is that we're also offering virtual office space here at Nevada Partners. And so if you need help incorporating your business as an LLC or sole proprietorship, but you don't have a business address yet, we're working on installing. It's probably going to take us 2 weeks to 4 weeks to finish this process, but installing a mailbox for this room so that folks could use this space as an office as well and save you on some fees. And so go ahead, please, and read through the MOU. You can actually sign the MOU on here. So we ask that you do that. It is an essential piece for confirming your membership in this program. Beyond the MOU, and I know some of y'all have already done that, in order to receive the micro grant based off of funding availability, we will also need your ID and your W-9, okay? And so if you get that stuff out of the way, it'll just make it so much easier for us to help you move through this process. So this is really the orientation section, and it's really just to get the chores out of the way to make the program as best as possible. Beyond this, we have a couple more sections in this class. So I'll just kind of read through them and talk about why they're important. The first section is defining why. And we have this lecture from Simon Sinek, who's the author of Start With Why. And it really ties back into some core elements of being an entrepreneur, like mindset and establishing your company culture, your mission, your vision, your values, the elements that are going to keep you moving forward in your business beyond the simple transactions, right? And it will help inform your branding, which we'll get into. The next section is the Lean Business Model Canvas. This is some of the training that I received at startups like Uber and Lyft in terms of how they quickly and aggressively scaled their companies, based off of doing customer-centric research, right? And so customer research is something you should hear a lot about. I'm not sure that I can hear anybody yet, so if anybody's chiming in, just raise your hand or shoot me a comment, just in case my audio is a little weird. But going back to the Lean Business Model Canvas, we've done a couple of these workshops in person, and I find them super valuable, but I've included some of the original content in here. So Steve Blank, who's the founder of this model, has a lecture in here called Principles of Lean. And then we go over some examples of the Lean Business Model Canvas. And then there's an exercise for you to do it. And the way this exercise works is once you make it here, you can open up the exercise in Google Slides. And notice whenever we share with you a document or a spreadsheet or slides or anything like that for you to do homework, and I'm using quotation marks because it's not homework. This is work to help move your business forward. Customer research isn't just a homework assignment. It's essential for understanding who your customers are and building your business. When you make it to a document like this one, just make sure to make a copy. Okay, so like you can make a copy for your entire presentation. And so let me just do that, walk through the steps of making a copy. And now that we have the copy, you could edit this and you could name it whatever your startup is. So for my startup, it's TechStart. So I named it TechStart Lean Business Model Canvas. And you'll want to watch the videos so you can understand how to fill this out. But this is an image with some text boxes overlaid. So you could jump in and you can edit in who you think your customer segments are, or your unfair advantage, solution, and problem, and so on. Okay, and there's 4 in here or 5 slides, but you can continue making copies as needed. At the tech startups that I've worked at, we would do this almost on a weekly basis, reiterating who we think our customer is, what our messaging should be. And then every week we'd look at this together as a team and we would update this, and it will help us better understand who is our most effective customer for the marketing and sales work we have to put into our business. If anybody has any questions, throw them in. Jen, I do see your question. Thank you so much, or your point. And Ella's out this week recovering, but I'm sure this is something that we can work through together when she's back next week. So thank you for bringing that up.
I have a question.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your question, Leela?
So the password that I'm given is one that is generated by the website.
Okay.
Is there any way that you can make it so that you can create your own personalized password?
Great point. I am not sure, honestly. Did you change, did it give you a password?
Yeah, but it's very hard to remember.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I wanted to make one that was easier to remember. That's all.
Yeah, no worries. So the question Leela had was if she can change her password, in case anybody didn't hear that. And I wish I had a better answer for you right now, but I don't. So let me look into it and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Maybe the solution for the short term is to just bookmark the email or
No, I have it. I have it copied everywhere.
okay,
But,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
but
Yeah,
just wanted to see if there was access to a more user-friendly password.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, great point. We can look into that
Okay,
together
thank you.
right after this. Okay, so that section is the lean business model canvas. Beyond that, we have business foundations. This is super important, y'all. And I feel like since some folks joined the program a little bit late, not everybody heard this in the beginning, but setting up your business is an extremely important step. Setting it up correctly so that you can operate legally and just continue having a presence without any issues at all. Pay folks, get paid, do all that jazz. And so there's two videos here that were taught by the UNR Business Extension School. The first video is, pretty comprehensive. It goes over what all of these different business entities mean. So if words like sole proprietorship or LLC or S Corp, C Corp, if those are things that you're unfamiliar with, this video will give you a complete crash course on what they all mean. And the next video in this section will show you step by step how to go through the Secretary of State website to register your business. And this is something that we've helped folks do in person here at Nevada Partners. So if you are struggling with this or just confused by it at all, feel free to reach out to myself or Ella to book time, and more than happy to walk you through it in person. So these are some really essential segments for starting your business. I'll just kind of go over the next couple pieces. We have a section on brand and introducing brand. We also have a section on developing your MVP offer. And this is different. MVP means minimal viable product. And we're really talking about what is the offer that we can go to market with today without investing too much resources or time into perfecting the offer. A lot of folks get stuck in paralysis by analysis when developing a product or a service. And it's really important to get out of your head, get out of your office and go talk to customers. And the best data you can get from any customer is a sale. And so figuring out how to build out your minimal viable product and what you can do to start selling that so that you could start optimizing what you deliver to customers. So there's a couple videos in here from a new school of thought is what I would say you may encounter as you kind of go through some of these videos. The next section is operations. It's another key element for running any business or having any type of corporate job. You need to have a grasp on things like project management and how to get things done effectively. And there's also a section on leadership here. Recommend that you go through and make time to watch all these videos. Every video on average is not more than 10 minutes, but believe me, there's a wealth of knowledge in each of these, and we've curated them for a specific reason. The next segment is on marketing and sales, which right now is really relatively light. It's just social media basics. We'll continue to add more marketing and sales content here. Maybe we'll do some in-person workshops to kind of kick that going. A couple weeks ago, we did a workshop on LinkedIn networking, and some folks were able to make progress on their LinkedIn profiles and build connections in that way. And then we have a section on financials. Another key element of running any business is understanding your financials. And it's not going to be the most fun thing, but it is really important. So things like understanding your profit and loss statements, how to build a profit and loss statement, calculating CAC, that's customer acquisition cost. So understanding how much it costs you to take on a customer so that you can understand what your unit economics are. And your unit economics are, the profits you make on every transaction. Okay. Awesome, Jen. Glad to hear you're up 100 connections on LinkedIn. That's great. And then we've got this section called Money Deep Dive, which is again from UNR. So really important to get into these. And the reason why I say this is so important is because you don't want to be one of the entrepreneurs who puts in a ton of work in your business and then find out that you're paying yourself less than minimum wage. All right. So understanding how to put your best foot forward in terms of your unit costs to deliver a product and service and your operational costs to deliver on your business while still generating enough profit that you can take some stuff off the table or give yourself a salary or hire other people or do all of that together. And then the final segment in this course is pitch training. So we have How to Pitch Your Startup by Kevin Hale from Y Combinator, which is like one of the top investor firms in the world. They've helped pump out companies like Airbnb and Square and other billion-dollar companies. And when you come to this last lesson, we have business pitch template. So very similarly, you could make a copy of this Google Slides template and use this as a very rough outline to help you frame up your business pitch. But you can also look at some other startups. We have YouTube's original pitch and Airbnb's original pitch on here, as well as some pitches from The Edible Bunch and Life Turn, and they won our pitching competition last cohort. And we also have a link to Canva for pre-designed business templates. So as you'll notice in the MOU, going through this course is important. It is one of the requirements for this program. We designed this in a way so it's not meant to be a huge time suck, but it's supposed to give you exactly what you need to make sure you have a well-rounded understanding of operating your business. We do see like student activities on our end, so we can see, once you've completed everything. So please make sure to do so. And if you have any questions, let me know. You might notice that we may make some small changes over time, but in summary, this is how to navigate our online crash course. Does anybody have any questions for now?
So Elias,
Yeah.
is there have you set out like a requirement? How many we have to finish all 27 lessons, I'm assuming, and then what else do we have to do?
Check out the MOU for the specific breakdown, but it's attending the in-person classes, a certain number of in-person classes, which Leela, I believe you've attended all of the in-person classes that you've needed to attend. Okay. And doing a certain number of co-working hours. The last thing that we need to line up for you and some of the other students that are on the path to finishing up this cohort is a pitch day.
Okay, pitch day.
Yeah.
And what is MOU? I'm sorry.
An MOU is a memorandum of understanding. It's like an agreement, pretty much saying we've come to an agreement on that you'll do this and this is expectations for what we'll do in return. Are there any questions in the Zoom room? Okay.
Moving forward, will the meetings be mostly like this, like on Zoom, or are we going back to in person, or is it just like by appointment only type thing?
Yeah, great question, Jen. We're going to do both. I think what we're going to start doing moving forward is a hybrid model where we are going to be doing this in person, but we're also going to be recording it and we'll be live on Zoom as well for folks that can't come in person. Yeah. Does that answer? So every Wednesday at 6, we'll continue maintaining that. And then we may add more classes outside of that schedule based off of some of our other volunteers that will be facilitating.
What about Saturday?
Saturdays, I don't think we have anything locked into the calendar right now anymore for Saturdays. Okay. But if that's a want or need, we could definitely, turn that, set that up.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Miss Zoom user, did you have a question?
Yes, I was trying to log into the the Promise Startup online,
Mhm.
and I keep on pushing submit, but it keeps on like it's not going through.
Oh,
I
man.
don't know if I'm doing it wrong or
Can we see
um,
if this link, will this link work for you? Could you give that link a try?
oh, you sent me something? Okay.
I just dropped it in the chat just now.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Just confirm with me if that works or if it gives you access to what you see on my screen. Okay. Any other questions? There's one more thing I want to cover before I close out our session today. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Jan. Okay. So hopefully that works out. So the last thing I want to cover with y'all is Google Drive and how powerful Google Drive is as a tool. I use it for a ton of my partnerships. I use it for all my projects. Like for example, I have my like Tech Start Management Drive folder, and in it is like everything that I need to run Tech Start my business. If I have a specific client, I go into mission control, and this is shared with my team. And then I have like an operations folder. And in my operations folder, I have a folder dedicated to, every project that I have my hands involved with. And it just makes it super easy, much easier for me to, keep things in one place, like logos or social media posts or documents. If I need to add a team member to a specific project, I just share it with them. The reason why I'm bringing this up, okay. I read a comment that it's not working for you. So let me finish this tangent. I'll stop the recording and then we'll make sure we get you logged into the account. So the reason why I bring this up is because it's very easy to have information in all sorts of different places, and information is power. Knowledge is power when building our businesses. And so I believe I may have mentioned this in the beginning of our program, but I find it super powerful. And what it is a single document. It doesn't even have to be in Google Drive. It just needs to be in something that you're going to use and be able to share and edit. And this document is simply a rolling agenda for your business. Okay. So your startup's rolling agenda. Okay. And there's so many things to do in a startup, and you're going to realize that you need to start prioritizing and keeping everything organized in one place. So what I would recommend is that you set up a simple rolling agenda, even if it's just for yourself, so that you could keep track of your to-do list items. So today is May 11th. I would just say, it's May 11th. And I use this as a place to write down my thoughts sometimes, or to write down action items. If I have meetings with people and they don't need all of the meeting notes, then I would take those meeting notes in this document. And if they do need access to the meeting notes, then I'll just paste them over into a document that I'll share with them. To give you all an example of how I use this. So I use this every day for my startup, Tech Start. Let me see if you can see it. I don't think. Okay. And this is my rolling agenda. And so every single day I have, these are some of the main things that I need to do. Some of this stuff here, I had it scheduled for yesterday. I didn't get to it, but yesterday I had other things to do. And then whatever I don't get to, I can just like copy and paste, move to the top. And that just keeps me accountable to everything that I have to do. And I really recommend it, especially with teammates. you know, this is something that's really powerful for just knowing who said what, when they said they'd get it done, and just working towards a culture of accountability. And accountability starts with ourselves as individuals. And then something that's cool is now I have like 46 pages of this, so I can go all the way back to like freaking last year August and last year September, and kind of see what I was working on and what I didn't get done. And then I have different agendas for specific teammates. So for example, you know, with Promise Startups itself, we have a rolling agenda dedicated to Promise Startups to hold our team accountable for that. For specific client projects, and I won't go to open those docs up just for their like confidentiality, but I have documents like this for each major client that I work with. And whenever I meet with them, I open it up and I just keep track of notes, and it holds me accountable, holds them accountable. It helps you maximize your ability to get feedback and advice from mentors. And even when you go do customer research, if you use this one document to keep track of everything, trust me, it's a game changer. I forget which CEO said this, but I was just reading on like Entrepreneur Magazine the other day that a billionaire CEO was also following the same structure of just one document, keeping track of so many different things. That's like their personal notepad, essentially. So if you know, this is something that I'm going to like continue bringing up and asking for, especially as we do one-on-ones, that you have a document prepared and that you make the most use out of our time together, so that you know exactly what you need from me or what questions you have for me, and I can lean in and be as effective as possible with helping you do this. One of our entrepreneurs, which is the Snazzy Publishing Group, took this advice and then hosted an event like 2 weeks ago using, you know, this format. And now they have a repeatable playbook. If they want to do this event again, they just copy paste all the steps that they had to take to get there. So that's it for my rant on documents and how to navigate the Promise Startups course. Any last questions before I stop the recording?